So, sound check. This is how we always start our podcast, except that Jonah, the sound guy, has to do jazz hands. We make him do that. I'm not kidding. So we're officially early. How was Rhonda this morning, Jason? I know you saw the show. And I will answer the very first question. You can post any questions if you have additional questions of your very own. Here we are, Maria and AnnMaria, live, doing Facebook Live, Instagram Live at the same time. And the very first question that we got asked was about children. What benefits do you see through the children in judo classes, and what are their stories? Surprisingly to a lot of people, my biggest thing is not that they win. I mean, winning is great. Competing is great, but for a lot of the kids who are at Gompers Judo middle school judo program, they're in environments where they don't always have the most resources, they don't have the best schools, they don't have a lot of things. And so for me, it's really important that they stay in school. I know it's a real cliche, but it is. And I know for a lot of the kids, there have been points where they came to school because they knew they couldn't come to judo after school if they'd skip school that day. And if nobody's home to make sure that you don't skip school, sometimes, and it's all on you when you're 13 or 14, it's hard to do. And so for our kids, just going to school is an important thing. The other thing is when we go on events outside of the state, or even outside the city, we always make it a point to go to colleges as well. So we've been to UC Riverside. We're going to go toward University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We've been to Georgetown University. So that idea of putting in kids' heads that there's more beyond what you see every day is important to me. And the other benefit they get is getting in better shape. A lot of our kids are tough when they come to us, but they're not in good shape as far as what you would consider cardio or physical strength usually, but not always. And so they haven't grown up in the soccer league and the softball league and all that stuff. And so often we'll start the semester with circuits where they're doing a lot of exercises and calisthenics. So getting a better physical condition and getting broader, just a broader view of the world. And then the last thing, because I know there were questions for Maria too, is the people they associate with. I am super, super, super lucky that there are some great assistant instructors. We've got Jimmy Sanchez, we've got Jose Gonzalez, Will Bean, Ron Newsom. And not only are they really good professional people, but they're also African-American, Latino. So kids see people like them that give them a lot of really positive attention. And we keep the class small. So at almost all times, we've got 5-to-1 or 4-to-1 student-teacher ratio. And, people say it's not quantity time, it's quality time. Sometimes with kids, it's great big gobs of quantity time, asking about their homework and asking how things are. And so, yeah, those are the main benefits I think they get. So Maria, you want to answer a question?
Oh, yeah. Should we tell people what we're doing?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Whatever you want to do.
This is our new feature because AnnMaria loves Facebook Living. So this is our new feature, and because everything needs alliteration, what are we calling it? Whatever Wednesday, where people can ask us whatever they want on Wednesdays. So, Jimmy, too late. Well, actually, I just gave you a shout out. There's your name. Yay to Jimmy Sanchez, who has joined us a few minutes late, but whatever. Because it's Whatever Wednesday. So we are answering whatever questions the people of the internet have. Well, as we have decided whether or not to answer them, and we'll go from there. So my question...
I'm trying to look on the side and see the Instagram questions.
I know, right? So my question for myself is... Well, not my question for myself, my question from someone from the internet. I did not plug this by giving myself questions. You can even go look on Facebook and see it's there, not to say that I would feed myself questions. Maria, how did you feel about winning the award? So... the wood's on my car. I need to bring it in so we can hang it.
You should tell people the award you won.
Yes.
Yeah, replace those goddamn unicorns with that award. That's what you should do.
Oh, yeah, I'm debating. So which one should I be looking at? Should I be looking at the people of Facebook Live or the people of Instagram?
There you
go. It's a real challenge.
All
right. So, yes, I got an award from the National Latina Business Women Association Los Angeles chapter, or being their rising emerging star as CEO of Seven Generation Games. So it was really cool and really exciting because, well, it was very fancy as well. But to be named an emerging rising star for a company that we've been working to build is great because I think we get to do really fun things every day. I mean,
And there's a
sometimes less
boatload
fun
of
things.
Latinas in Los Angeles. It's like
Right.
being like the top Latina businesswoman in North Dakota.
Shout out to her, whoever she is. But yeah, so I mean, it was really exciting because there's a lot of things that go into building business, and sometimes you feel like it's thankless, or just even though we know that everybody appreciates the work we do. But so it's nice to be recognized, and I'm competitive, so I don't know where that comes from. So it's really, really nice to win too. It's an honor to be nominated, but it's really, really great to win. So I know it was really fun and really exciting, and I was glad to be there.
And I wore a dress. This shows you how much I love this woman. Hi, Nanny, by the way. So you want the next question?
So the next question is a good one, and it's something that we talk a lot about. It's what do you think of Common Core, particularly as it applies to learning mathematics? And we both have feelings on it. I think you're the one. I steal your line, so you can start with that.
Well, I think most people that rant about Common Core, I ask them, well, what specifically don't you like? And they're like, well, I hate this Common Core crap. I mean, a lot of things in Common Core, that you should learn to multiply to one-digit numbers. I mean, when I was in school, we learned to multiply 5 times 7. I still think that's an important thing. So a lot of times people say, oh, I'm against Common Core. They don't really know what it is they're specifically against. One of the things that has been a big change for teachers has been that kids aren't supposed to just get the right answer, but explain why they got the right answer. And I'm not against that. I think that, understanding math as opposed to memorizing stuff is harder. So it's harder to teach, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I can't really speak to like the language arts or that. I mean, because that's not really my area of expertise.
Well, and I think the same thing. I remember I read this article, and I steal your line, but really? So which standard are you against? Because people, and it's one of those people. It's like buzzword. Well, I'm against it because, but not knowing what it is you're against. But I'd read this article in the Washington Post. It was a column. It was a couple of years ago when it had first come out, and this woman was saying, "Yeah, I was against Common Core, but I didn't really know that much about it." And then when I sat down with my kid to start doing this homework, I was realizing, wow, this is actually, I'm understanding math better myself. I'm doing it better in my head because there's a lot more of that breakdown to here's how it's done. And I don't know. I think and for me, I mean, obviously we are working in math and talking about Common Core a lot, but it actually, when I look at the stuff that my daughter's doing and seeing it, because not only are we working on it from a game standpoint, but I have a kid who's coming up through those, grades that we're covering and learning math that way. I think she's learning math way better than I remember learning math. So, and
I was your mom.
That's right.
So that's emotional.
But yeah, so again, like I said, I think sometimes people say they're against things without having any idea what that's about. And so, yeah.
And that line about, I don't really know very much about it, but I'm against it, that could sum up a whole bunch of the internet. And as to Allie's question, I just saw it there, how young would you start a child in judo? I used to teach a preschool class, and I think at that age, it's more like mommy and me, like we did animal judo, we hopped around on one leg, and, that's how a flamingo would do judo. And so, I think in all sports, you have those psycho people that, want to strap them to a concrete block and have them dragged around, the neighborhood by the time they're 8 years old. And then you have the people that think everybody should get a trophy for showing up. And then you have somebody like me who's in between. I think when a kid is small in any sport, that it ought to be focused on having a good time, socializing, building some skills. So I once, because I'm a statistician, right, tried to look to see if there's any correlation between the age at which kids started judo, and I'd be interested for other sports as well, and how well they did. And I thought it would be negative. I thought kids that started too early would burn out, but I found there was like absolutely no relationship at all. Some people started at 3 or 5 and were great, and other people started at 11 or 12 and went to the Olympics. So I think it doesn't matter.
Well, there was actually a really good point on here about Common Core, and it was from someone saying they're a teacher in New York. I think it went past, so but they were saying they're in New York City, and they're saying the big issue for, I think sometimes on the educational standpoint, they were saying from an educator standpoint, isn't with the way that Common Core is taught, isn't breaking down standards, but kind of this implementation to it, which is what we were talking about a little bit before. And I think that's a whole different issue with Common Core as opposed to, show me, we're administrators, it's, what exactly does your lesson plan break down, every element, everything. That's kind of the stuff that we hear from teachers that are not liking Common Core, especially when it comes to math. And that, I think, that I can see a lot more than a lot of people saying, I hate these Common Core standards.
Well, I think if you work for an idiot administrator or horrible administrator, it doesn't matter what the standards are. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, so that part, I think there's a lot more focus on, too, than what we say sometimes, which people say, I don't know. So, what was it? Oh, and we have time for one last question because we're keeping it to 15 minutes. Because
Maria has a babysitter.
And we have work that has to be done. But
which game is your favorite?
Okay, my favorite game is Aztec, which is actually what we're working on right now. It's coming out in a couple weeks. If you want special beta release, if you backed us on Kickstarter, you will get it. You did not for Aztec. We didn't do Kickstarter for Aztec, but just in general, if you ever backed us on Kickstarter, you'll get it because you're awesome. If you didn't back us on Kickstarter, you're also awesome, but not as awesome as Kickstarter people. Anyway, so Aztec, because one, it's our first bilingual game, but it's the very first one that I feel like I have been able to go through from day one and do it exactly how I want. Where some of the other games we had to do bits and pieces and put this here and narrative, which I think is very important, and someone here has come around to seeing is more important.
Well, Armand says, I hope I pronounced your name right. Where's the link to the Kickstarter? We did the Kickstarter well over a year ago. So, sorry, that ship has sailed. But we did it for my favorite game, Forgotten Trail, and that's one that I would like to go back and add more to, and like with all our games, we update them. But the reason I like Forgotten Trail so much is when I did it, I was thinking about kids that I know so many kids who, we do a lot of work in small towns, whether it's in Missouri or North Dakota or South Dakota or Wyoming. And when I taught, I meet a lot of kids that they're in a little town and they have had drilled into them that they're nothing more than ordinary, that you have a strong back and a weak mind, you're never going to be anything, you couldn't be an astronaut, you couldn't be a physician. And I wanted, it's just kind of it circles back to the question of my judo kids in South LA. I wanted those kids to see themselves as you could do more than this. So the story, Angie and Sam in Forgotten Trail, when I wrote that, I had kids in mind that I had met that I just wish that I could reach them and say, you're more than that. You are. So, okay, so Aztec Math, yes, it's coming out in actually we did the test build today, so in a week we will be sending out links to testers. So if you want to be a tester, you can email me, message me on Facebook. All I need to do, we can take 1,000 testers. That's the limit Apple gives us. And we're going to send it out to, as Maria said, our Kickstarter backers first. But,
yeah, you could be one of those cool people that say, oh yeah, I knew about it way back when.
Yes, like the people that got Assassin's Creed, that got to play Assassin's Creed, that's not coming out until October.
Yeah, and we'll actually know because we'll have your emails. So.
Alrighty, so that's it. It's 15 minutes. Maria's got to go to her babysitter, but if you would like questions for next time, thank you for all your help, Manny. We appreciate it. And thank you, Allie, for backing us. We appreciate that too. And Valerie, you haven't done diddly squat for me. It's been a minute. So yes, next Wednesday, same time, same place. Send us your questions in advance. We will, whatever Wednesday, answer your
whatever Wednesday. Yeah, there you go.
Right, there you go.
Bye.
Bye.